Hello guys, today in this video we will be learning how can we create a local Git repository and then add that local Git repository to our remote Git repository. Okay, so before we start we need to have Git installed on our system. So for that you can go to this website. Okay, this is the official Git website from where you can download Git for Mac, Windows or Linux, and then after downloading get it installed on your system. And then after installing you can go to your terminal and then type git --, version, so that you know whether you have successfully installed Git or no. If it shows something like this, git version, and then the version means you have successfully installed Git, and if it doesn't show anything means you still have to install. Okay, so this is what we need to do first. So first install Git. Then what we will be doing is now to create a Git repository, to create a local Git repository, we will have to first migrate to our project folder. Here the project folder that I have is learn Git. Okay, so first migrate to the folder inside of which you want to create a Git repository, and then here you can run the command git init. Okay, so what git init does is it initializes an empty Git repository in your project folder. Okay, now after git init, okay, for example here we have a file called index.txt text. Inside of this let's write, inside of this let's write hello and save it. So now we have a file, right? So now the next step is, if you want to add this file to your local Git repository, what you will be doing is you will be running the command git add and then the file name index.txt, for example here. But if you have a huge project and you have many files, you cannot sit down and add one file after the other. It will take a lot of time. So what we can do is we can use git add and then dot. Okay, what this does is it will add all the files inside of this folder to the staging area. Okay, so when you press enter, and now let's check git status. Okay, so here can you see no commits yet, and then what this tells us is we have a new file over here called index.txt. This command over here, that is git add dot, this will add all the files present in that folder to your staging area. Okay, and after adding it to the staging area you now can commit those files. So here you can use the command git commit -m. This flag is used for a message. So for example here we write a message called git commit, first commit, and then press enter. And now if we check for git status, can you see on master branch nothing to commit, working tree clean. So first what we did is we initialized our Git repository, then we added all the files to the staging area, and then we committed all the files inside of the staging area. We use this command git commit to commit those files. Okay, now what this did is this created a local repository and we have everything added and committed. Okay, so our working tree is clean now. So this was how you create a local Git repository. Now if you want to add this to your remote Git repository, what we need to do is you first need to have your GitHub account, right? And inside of the GitHub account here you can go to your repositories there. Okay, and then inside of your repository you can see this button here, new. This is to create a new repository. Okay, so here can you see create a new repository. So here we can give a name to our repository. Here for example if I give it a name of demo, and then this is public, and your description is optional. If you want you can give a description to your project, and then click on this button create repository. So here this is we created our remote repository. Okay, so now how to connect our local and our remote repository. So for that we need to use the command git remote add origin, and let's close this. So use this command git remote add origin and then copy the URL over here, this entire URL. Okay, copy that and then paste it over here and press enter. So now you can check this by using the command git remote --v. Okay, so can you see our origin is being set to the link over here, the link that we added over here, right? The link that we copied from here, our origin is set to that. Okay, so now anything that you push will go to this remote repository over here. Okay, so now we added our origin, okay, the URL, and then now what we need to do is we need to push all the changes from our local repository to our remote repository, right? So for that we will need to use the command git push origin master. Now master, this is the branch. Okay, can you see here when we used git status, it showed on branch master, so that is our main branch. So here we need to use this command git push origin master and then enter. This will push all your changes made in the remote repository, made in your local repository to your remote repository. Now when we refresh over here, can you see we have this index.txt, and then when we open it, can you see we have this hello written over here, right? So this file over here that we created, we successfully added this to our remote repository, right? And can you see the message over here, first commit? This is the message that we gave it over here. Okay, the message, the git commit message, first commit, and then the same thing over here. So this shows up over here. Okay, so this is very simple. You need to know a few commands and then you can easily add your local repository to your remote repository. And for example, now if you wish to make some changes here, for example, if you want to have another file, for example, called test.txt, and then here you write testing, and when you save it, now if you want to push these changes also to your remote repository, what you will have to do is first you need to add this. Okay, before that let's see the status. So can you see untracked files is test.txt, the new file that we created, we still have to add it to the staging area and then commit it so that we can push it to our remote repository. Okay, so here we can do git add and then for example test.txt, or you can simply use a dot also over here. Okay, and then now if we check the git status, can you see we have this new file over here? This still has to be committed, so git commit -m, and then you can give it a message of added test.txt file, right? So this is added. Now if we check the git status, can you see on branch master, nothing to commit, our working tree is clean. Now what we can do is we can say git push origin master. Now here we don't need to add the origin again because this file already has an origin. Okay, so that is git, we can check that by using git remote --v, right? So we just need to git push origin master and it will push all of our changes to our remote repository. Okay, so this is completed, and when you refresh, can you see this was our first commit, and then this is added test.txt file, right? So this is how you add files to your local repository and then push them to your remote repository. I hope you guys like this video. Okay, and one more thing, if you want to delete any of your repositories, what you need to do is go to the settings part over here and then go to the very end of the settings. Here you can see this danger zone thing, right? So here you can see this option of delete this repository, and then here they ask you to type the name of your repository. You can type that and press this button and then it gets deleted. Okay, so this is how you delete your repository. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. So let's revise. What we did is, first we initialized git, that is with the command of git init, and then we added our files using git add and then dot to add all the files, and if you want to add a single file you can use the file name itself. Then we committed those file with a -m flag, okay, with a message. And then after committing those files, we added our origin, okay, we created a Git repository in our GitHub account, and then from there we copied the URL that we got. And then what we did was we added origin, okay, we use the command git remote add origin and then that URL from a remote repository, so that we can connect our local and the remote repository, okay. And then what we did is we used the command git push origin master to add all the changes made to our local repository to our remote repository, okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is very simple. So I have an Instagram post linked in my description below. You can go there and check it out. I have all these commands written over there step by step, so you can have all the git commands at a glance, okay. It will help you. And thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, do not forget to subscribe. I'll be coming up with such videos. And also, if this video helped you in any way, do not forget to press that like button. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.